The topic of motivation is one that has been studied extensively by scientists and researchers, and yet it remains a mystery to many of us. What really drives us to do the things we do? Is it the promise of reward? The fear of punishment? The desire to be recognized and respected? Or is there something deeper at play? The truth is, motivation is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon that is influenced by a variety of factors. It is not simply the result of one single cause, but rather a combination of psychological, social, and environmental factors that interact in intricate ways. One of the key drivers of motivation is the concept of self-determination. This refers to the extent to which we feel that our actions are under our own control, rather than being determined by external factors such as rewards or punishments. Research has shown that when we feel self-determined, we are more likely to be motivated and engaged in the task at hand. Another important aspect of motivation is the idea of flow, which is the experience of being completely absorbed in an activity and losing track of time. Flow states are often associated with peak performance and have been shown to be associated with increased motivation. Additionally, social factors also play a big role in motivating us. The sense of belonging, the desire for connection, and the need for recognition and respect are all drivers of motivation. It's also important to note that motivation is not a constant state, but rather it fluctuates depending on the individual and the situation. Understanding the science of motivation can help us to better understand our own behavior and that of others, and can help us to create more effective ways to motivate ourselves and others. In addition to the factors previously mentioned, there are several other key concepts in the science of motivation that are worth exploring. One of these is the concept of intrinsic motivation, which refers to the motivation that comes from within, rather than from external rewards or punishments. Intrinsic motivation is associated with a sense of enjoyment and personal satisfaction, and is often linked to activities that are personally meaningful or interesting. Research has shown that when people are intrinsically motivated, they tend to be more engaged and persistent in their efforts. Another important concept is self-efficacy, which refers to the belief in one's own ability to accomplish a task or achieve a goal. Self-efficacy has been shown to be a powerful predictor of motivation and performance, and individuals who have high self-efficacy tend to be more motivated to tackle challenging tasks and persist in the face of obstacles. Another important concept in motivation is the idea of goal setting. Setting clear, specific, and challenging goals can help to focus our efforts and increase our motivation. Research has shown that goal setting can be an effective way to boost motivation and performance, particularly when the goals are set in a way that aligns with our values and interests. Moreover, the concept of emotion also plays a big role in motivation. Emotions such as happiness, pride, and satisfaction can motivate us to continue doing something or to strive for more. On the other hand, negative emotions such as fear, anxiety, and stress can demotivate us. It's also important to note that motivation can be influenced by our environment, our culture, and our social interactions. Factors such as the physical environment, the culture of an organization, and the social support we receive can all have a big impact on our motivation. By understanding these environmental factors and how they influence motivation, we can create more supportive and motivating environments. Another key concept in the science of motivation is reinforcement. Reinforcement refers to the use of rewards or punishments to encourage or discourage certain behaviors. Research has shown that reinforcement can be an effective way to increase motivation, but the type of reinforcement used can make a big difference. Positive reinforcement, where rewards are given for desired behaviors, is generally more effective than negative reinforcement, where punishment is used to discourage undesired behaviors. Another important concept in motivation is feedback. Feedback is the information we receive about our performance or progress, and it can have a big impact on our motivation. Research has shown that when feedback is clear, accurate, and timely, it can be a powerful motivator. Furthermore, when feedback is given in a way that is constructive, it can help individuals to identify areas where they need to improve and to set goals for themselves. It's also important to note that motivation can change over time. People's goals and interests can change, and their level of motivation can fluctuate depending on the situation. This is why it's important to check in with ourselves and others regularly to see how motivated we are, and to make adjustments as needed. Another important concept in motivation is self-regulation. Self-regulation refers to the ability to control our own behavior and emotions. Research has shown that people who are able to regulate their own behavior are more likely to be motivated and successful. This is why it's important to develop self-regulation skills, such as self-control, planning, and goal setting. In addition, the concept of mindset also plays a big role in motivation. Mindset refers to an individual's belief about their own abilities and potential. A fixed mindset, which is the belief that abilities are fixed and cannot be changed, can lead to a lack of motivation and a lack of effort in achieving goals. On the other hand, a growth mindset, which is the belief that abilities can be developed through effort and learning, can lead to increased motivation and effort in achieving goals. Another important concept in the science of motivation is values. Values refer to the things that are important to us and guide our actions and decisions. Research has shown that when our actions and goals align with our values, we are more likely to be motivated and engaged in the task at hand. Furthermore, when we feel that our actions align with our values, we often experience a sense of purpose and meaning, which can be a powerful motivator. Another key concept in the science of motivation is self-talk. Self-talk refers to the internal dialogue we have with ourselves, and it can have a big impact on our motivation. Research has shown that positive self-talk, such as telling oneself "I can do this" or "I am capable," can boost motivation and confidence, while negative self-talk, such as "I can't do this" or "I am not good enough," can decrease motivation and confidence. It's also important to note that motivation can be influenced by our physiological state. Research has shown that factors such as sleep, nutrition, and exercise can all have an impact on our motivation. When we are well rested, well nourished, and physically active, we tend to be more motivated and productive. On the other hand, when we are tired, hungry, or inactive, our motivation tends to decrease. Another key concept in motivation is identity. Identity refers to how we see ourselves and how we want others to see us. Research has shown that when our actions align with our sense of self and our desired identity, we are more likely to be motivated and engaged in the task at hand. Furthermore, when we feel that our actions align with our sense of self, we often experience a sense of self-esteem and self-worth, which can be a powerful motivator. It's also important to note that motivation can be influenced by our culture and society. Factors such as cultural norms, societal expectations, and stereotypes can all have an impact on our motivation. By understanding these cultural and societal factors and how they influence motivation, we can create more inclusive and motivating environments. Another key concept in the science of motivation is autonomy. Autonomy refers to the degree of control and decision-making power that an individual has in a situation. Research has shown that when people have autonomy in their work or activities, they tend to be more motivated and engaged. Furthermore, when people feel that they have control over their own lives and their own choices, they often experience a sense of self-determination and ownership, which can be a powerful motivator. Another important concept in the science of motivation is stress. Stress refers to the physiological and psychological response to perceived threats or challenges. Research has shown that stress can have both positive and negative effects on motivation. Positive stress, also known as eustress, can motivate us to take action and to achieve our goals. On the other hand, negative stress, also known as distress, can demotivate us and make us feel overwhelmed. It's also important to note that motivation can be influenced by our past experiences. Research has shown that our past experiences, both positive and negative, can shape our motivation and our beliefs about ourselves and our abilities. For example, past successes can lead to increased motivation and confidence, while past failures can lead to decreased motivation and self-doubt. Another key concept in motivation is perspective taking. Perspective taking refers to the ability to understand and empathize with the thoughts, feelings, and experiences of others. Research has shown that perspective taking can increase motivation by increasing empathy, understanding, and cooperation. Furthermore, when we take the perspective of others, we often experience a sense of connection and understanding, which can be a powerful motivator. It's also important to note that motivation can be influenced by our personality. Factors such as our temperament, our values, and our coping strategies can all have an impact on our motivation. By understanding our own personality and how it influences our motivation, we can create more effective strategies for motivating ourselves and others. In conclusion, motivation is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon that is influenced by a variety of factors such as self-determination, flow, social factors, intrinsic motivation, self-efficacy, goal setting, emotions, reinforcement, feedback, self-regulation, mindset, values, self-talk, physiological state, identity, culture, society, autonomy, stress, past experiences, perspective taking, and personality. Understanding the science of motivation can help us to better understand our own behavior and that of others, and can help us to create more effective ways to motivate ourselves and others. It's important to recognize that motivation can change over time, and it's crucial to check in with ourselves and others regularly to see how motivated we are, and to make adjustments as needed. Furthermore, it's crucial to understand that different people might be motivated by different things, and to tailor our motivation strategies accordingly. The science of motivation can help us to tap into our own unique motivations, and to align our actions and goals with our values, interests, and sense of purpose. Additionally, it can also help us to create more supportive and motivating environments, whether it's at work, school, or in our personal lives. By understanding the science of motivation, we can learn how to create the conditions that allow us to thrive and to achieve our goals, and ultimately lead a more fulfilling life.